Welcome everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to another Tesla Friday Power Hour close. 888 sitting on Tesla. And I see a lot of familiar faces in the chat. Shout out to you guys all. I think this is one of the busiest chat sessions that we've had pre-stream for a while. I guess everyone's excited for the split. Let me know if my audio is coming in clear, and let me know where you guys are tuning in from, city, state, country, whatever you guys feel comfortable sharing. I'll read some out. Actually, we already have some. Judy says Los Angeles. Amit from India. How's it going? Crest says first live stream at last. Welcome, Crest. How's it going, everyone? Liverpool, UK. There we go. Clear, Matthew. Thank you. Appreciate that. Montreal, local Canuck. Sweden, Stockholm. Namae. How's it going? What's up, Juju gang? Yeah, I got the Juju on deck. Don't worry. I got like 1.5 Jujus today. I sliced them up real thin. Wanted to keep it, a little bit easier to eat today. It is hot. I'll just share that right now. Like, do I look a little bit tan? I mean, that's probably an understatement already. But I feel a little bit tan, and it's hot here. It's muggy. It's not really sunny today. It's like one of those cloudy, muggy, summery days. It's like, I don't know, like 26 or 28 degrees here locally. Yes. Okay, let me read out some places. And we got a lot to talk about. Obviously, the split is happening next Thursday. We got that. If you guys watched my video last night, you guys know how I feel about the options order flow, and we'll go through that as well, and potentially go through some ideas as to what may happen next week. Okay, Australia, how's it going? So many Juju Gang members in here. Appreciate you guys' support as usual. Istanbul, Salt Lake City, Sweden, San Diego, 2 San Diegos in a row, or Oregon, Moon Unit, Utah, Pittsburgh. Yeah, I look a little bit tan. Okay, good. I got a Juju glow, John says. There we go. I got sidetracked. South Carolina, Dan. Alex says, you totally called closing above the 200-day a win. There's still a chance. Yeah, there's still a chance. We got about $20 worth of a move to do. But yeah, you're right. Like, that was kind of my line in the sand for the week on Monday. Guadalajara, Mexico. That sounds nice right now. Martin from Amsterdam, London. Sanjay, how's it going? Welcome all our mods. Appreciate you. New York City, Mississippi, St. Martin. And if you're listening on replay, throw it in the comments as well. I always read where people are tuning in from. Istanbul, Chicago, Dubai. Marco, how's it going? Amsterdam as well. Princeton, Middletown, Delaware. Dubai, Westchester, Boston, Juju County as usual, David. Prague, Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. There we go. Could tell by the name. USA. That's fair enough. Moonville, Texas. How's it going, Boyle? Virginia. I appreciate that, Amit. Thank you so much. San Francisco, Rotterdam, Philadelphia, Baton Rouge, Bristol, Mansfield, Stockholm. Alex says howdy from somewhere near Chuck's left turn. Yeah, maybe this weekend we get an update. Hey, FSD 10.69 is coming out this weekend, right? Or to only 1,000 people. So it'll be interesting to see what sort of reviews we get from that. Nashville, Newcastle, New York, Germany, Meade, Washington. I think it is. I'll work on that, Safari. My audio on my new system is being a little bit weird, but hopefully I'll talk a little bit lighter and put the mic further away from me. California, Naples, jealous. Milwaukee, Salt Lake City, Chicago, Quebec, Boise, Idaho, Holland. We got people from everywhere. This is what I love about our community. I say it every week. It sounds corny, but it's true. I mean, like, look how diverse. Much better. Okay, good. It's so awesome how diverse of a group that we have here. So many different ideas, different parts of the world, and different languages spoken. I know that for a fact. Yeah, I'm super grateful for you guys. 888.37 sitting on Tesla. We got the split to talk about for next week. So on Monday, I talked about how closing above the 200-day moving average this week would be a win. Now, as we sit here, and I'll pull up the daily chart here, the 200-day, and I'll get rid of this stupid trend line. The 200-day moving average is currently sitting at $903.92. Closing above that would be super bullish in my eyes. It would show that bulls are controlled to end the week. And remember, it is options expiration today. On top of that, in yesterday's video, I talked about how there's a lot of gamma exposure expiring this week for Tesla. In fact, let me pull it up here. Did you guys watch that video that I pulled up yesterday? If not, all good. I've got some tweets I want to talk about today. Interesting. Look at that sudden drop there. Mimi, how's it going? There we go. Okay, so check this out. On TradyTix, link in the description if you want to check them out yourself. Gamma exposure by expiration. And you'll see for this week's expiration, August 19th, now it's 87% of Tesla's gamma exposure is expiring this week. Thank you, Hans. Appreciate that. Thanks, Boyle. It's interesting to see how much, like, okay, for all intents and purposes, really what you need to worry about with gamma exposure is if you look at market makers and the way that they hedge, when a large portion of your, let's say, hedges or stakes are expiring this week, you either have to roll them or you have to let them expire out the money, let's say. And so when that happens, the stock sometimes gets susceptible to bigger moves. And I reckon, obviously, as we sit here at 888.27 and we're down 2.26%, yeah, I mean, like, the Nasdaq's already down 2%. So for all intents and purposes, we're outperforming where we should be, or Tesla's outperforming where Tesla should be at this point in time. A regular day today would be Tesla down 4%, believe it or not. So with Tesla down just as much as the Nasdaq, give or take, I look at that as outperforming the Nasdaq quite a bit. And on a day where a lot of gamma exposure is expiring, and even down here, you can read the definition. When a large quantity of gamma exposure suddenly expires, markets can have a window of uncertainty where dealers are not actively hedging the same amount as before expiration. And so could that open us up for a big move next week? That's kind of where my eyes are at for next week. And if you mix in, obviously, the split coming in, I mean, split's happening Thursday. It seems like there's probably going to be a degree of FOMO that comes in next week. Let me know in the chat. What are you guys doing for the split? Are you guys trading the split at all? Are you guys buying any options, shares, whatever it might be, just for the sole purpose of the split and the momentum that may or may not come with it? I want to kind of gauge sentiment around it and see. Paul says, I wonder what gamma is. Gamma is it's the derivative of delta, right? So it's the second derivative of the stock. The first derivative is delta. If delta is 10%, then if the stock price goes up by 1%, options price goes up by 10 cents on that dollar. Gamma is how sensitive is that delta. But when you have a large portion of that delta expiring, it opens us up for more of a I think they put it kind of a great way. There's a window of uncertainty. Remember, we have 87% of our exposure expiring this week, so something to look at. Let's see what you guys say about this. DCAing, okay, adding on the dip, yeah, makes sense. That's I'm just curious if anyone's trading. Oh, hold on. We'll buy after the split, says Matthew. Blake says, bought a cheap 1,000 strike. If we have a pop Monday, we'll sell it back for a win. Gotcha. Hodl. Yep. Lots of hodls. Don't options expire every week? How does this week different with option expiration? That's a good question. Yes, options expire every week, and I'll pull up the stock price here, 888 sitting on Tesla. But let me show you this, for example. I know Unusual Whales on Twitter posted this at more of a macro level, and I'll try to pull it up here. This week is just a bigger options expiration week. Like, there's a lot more premium expiring this week than there has been for a long time. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean a big move is coming for every single stock or the whole market as a whole. But it's something to watch for. And remember, today's option expiration, that is not different. It's the third Friday of every month. Where is it here? I think, actually, hold on one sec. Where was it posted here? I'm gonna open this link up. It's a little bit blurry. Forget it. Hold on. Try to find it here. Wow, they tweet a lot. Just so many tweets to go through. Hold on. Oh, right here. Okay. I'll move my fat head here. They tweeted, tomorrow will be an interesting day. About $2 trillion of options are set to expire, obliging holders to either roll over existing positions or start new ones. So 2 trillion is kind of the number here to look at. That's market wide. So it's not Tesla specific. Actually, I can pull it up. Let's see if you know, let's pull up SPY, for example. Let's see how the gamma exposure looks like on the S&P. S&P, same thing. It's quite high, but it's only 40%. But of course, you know, we're talking a freaking ETF here for the entire market. Let's pull up something like NVIDIA. Let's see how NVIDIA is doing. So for example, for NVIDIA, there's not a lot of gamma exposure expiring this week. You know, the majority is 21%, and that's in October. So you can see it's pretty unique to the way Tesla has their exposure set out, is a lot of it expires this week. Mark says, bought a leap to trade Monday down 4K. I bought September's of next year really far out the money. I think I posted on Discord, and I was like just doing this for kicks. But yeah, it's another reason is, I mean, look at implied volatility rank. It's pretty low. Like, it's come down quite a bit. If you look at implied volatility, you know, rank is about 50. So we're kind of at the median area. Investment grade. Hold on. Where's the chat here? One sec. I gotta pull. Hold on. I'm gonna take out this chat so I can read it at a better way. Hold on. There we go. So many awesome comments. I keep on losing them. There it is. Real futurist investment grade credit increase is a bigger deal than split. It definitely seems like it this week. That being said, investment grade credit, I don't want to say it's a material chance that it comes out, but Fridays is kind of what I would expect for it to happen. I think Friday after hours is my expectation of when the day actually comes. Last time, does anyone remember in October when Tesla got the credit upgrade? Was that on a Saturday? Or maybe I heard about it on a Saturday. 889 sitting on Tesla. Anyone remember that? Let's look into that. Let's do I'm gonna do a quick second of research to figure out what date came out. Just waiting for the split, hoping for a big positive boost, says Karsten. Well, the split, you know, you guys know how I feel about the split. After the split happens, I very much expect a sell-off post-split. If you look at any stock that has split in recent history, and even going back to Tesla in 2020 and Apple in 2020, whatever gains that you may get short-term pre-split, it usually sell off post-split. So I don't think they're going to be... That's why I ask if anyone's trading it, not because I don't think long-term matters. Hadouken, how's it going? Sean, let's see here. Yeah. Oh, I like this chat so much better. It's like my whole freaking monitor now. Can read everything all at once. Han saying, volume today is showing a nothing burr. Well, by the way, the two levels I'm watching for on Tesla at the moment, 890 is the first level and 910, I think. Let me just check Discord. What did I post? Yeah, 890 and 910 are the hourly levels that I'm watching at the moment on Tesla. But volume today is 17.27 million. Remember, volume today is not going to be massive during the trading day. It's really going to be massive on the closing cross. As soon as we close, we'll get that last closing cross of the day. I'm expecting between 5 and 10 million shares dumped, traded, exchanged hands at that closing cross today. Maybe even more. I guess we'll see. Ganesha says, yeah, she should conduct a separate video on how to read trade. Take some interest in understanding it so I can follow you better. Appreciate that. There's a couple of videos I have on. Oh, hold on. Let me take my first slice of Juju here. I have a couple of videos out on it. If you look at my options playlist, you might see some there. But they have a pretty good YouTube channel themselves as well, actually. Chris says, I guess 200-day moving average wasn't a low bar after all. I know. And when I said it on Monday, I could already feel the comments coming at me. Not that anyone really did. Everyone's saying, yeah, 910. Like, we're sitting at 925 or whatever we were sitting at on Monday. How could you say that? But remember, closing above the 200-day moving average and holding there, especially on the week, especially on an OPEX week, would be a big deal, in a good way. It would show that bulls are back in control. I'll take the concession, by the way. If there's a concession, I know, you know, this kind of sounds like sour grapes, but closing above the 9 average, 895, I would take that as well. But is it 895? Hold on. Why does it show lower than it is? That's weird. It hasn't updated. 895 though. 891.35 sitting on Tesla. Martin says everyone's making a big deal of the investment grade. It's not like it's being added to the S&P 500. Yeah, I mean, that was a different catalyst for sure. Investment grade, look, there's a range of, I've said this before, it's like a range between it doesn't matter at all, who cares, to wow, this will unlock a lot of equity investors, portfolio managers that have criteria set that they're not buying stocks that have junk bond status. And the question is, if that, and I fall closer to this side where I do think it'll unlock some capital coming in. The question that's on everyone's mind, you can't really calculate this, to be honest, is what amount of capital does it unlock? Of course, it's not going to be a S&P 500 level of unlocking of capital and tracking funds and everything that came with that, but it'll be, I mean, it'll be non-zero. So Alex says split matters because of options. Yes, that's true as well. Gonzalo, how's it going, my friend? Dennis says, so you're saying that after the split happens, the stock could fall. I feel like everyone will buy and it will shoot up. Well, rational theory kind of shows us, and what I'll do here is I'll go back to the previous splits, right? Let's go back. What a good time this was, right? August 2020. Tesla rose, what is this? Let's see here. 80%, 79.46% in, man, what a day that was. In, how many days is this? Oh, this is a different one here. Let's call it 2 weeks, 14 trading days. And then it pretty much sold off 34%. So net, Tesla back in 2020, net was up 20% from the split, right? Up 80%, down 35%, net up 20% for all time. But that was a different market, right? We have to think about that. But look at the sell-off that it had afterwards. Now, Yash, you're saying, look, who cares? That was 2020. Great point. Let's go to Amazon's stock split just recently. Amazon actually did fairly well, up about 20% in the 5 or 7 business days beforehand, trading days beforehand, and then sold off. Actually, let me put a trend line up here. And then sold off 20%. So net, Amazon was actually down after the run up pre-split. So that's one. Here, I'll look at Google as well. Google split recently, actually very recently, and you'll see post-split, split right here, and sold off. So, by the way, none of this matters because they're all trading above where they are right now, and it's only been a couple months since then. But I'm just saying in the short term after the split, when everyone looks at their share count or looks at their options portfolio and they go, look, like I have 3 times everything I had in quantity now. Yeah, let me trim off one of these options. Let me trim off a couple of, everyone looks at everything a little bit differently because we're irrational like that. Yeah. So, like Emmett says all the time, as soon as you think something's going to happen for sure, the opposite thing will happen. But I just don't think it's, maybe my expectations are not set for a huge rise post split in the week after, let's say. So the Thursday it splits, Friday, and then the following week. But I mean, long term doesn't really matter, right? We're just talking kind of trades here. Vern, how's it going? A narrowboat, congrats. I mean, covered or cash secured puts, Martin, are great if you're trying to DCA. I mean, Warren Buffett loves that, right? Cash covered puts, sell as many puts as you want to buy shares, lower your cost average, lower your average on any stock, dollar cost average in. but they can be capital intensive, and that's why I think the split does help with that sort of stuff, right? Sanchez says, for those who don't follow technical analysis so much, can you explain what traders look for when studying the 2-minute, 5-minute, hourly charts? So, great question, Sanju. There's no one way to answer this. I mean, traders all have their own proprietary way that they look at it. Some traders follow the volume weighted average price, and a lot of hedge funds will follow this as well. Institutional investors. Essentially, volume weighted average price, stocks above it, you're bullish, below it, you're bearish. It's kind of acting like a magnet in there. And there's a lot to it, right? I'm just kind of butchering the theory, right? A lot of traders will use something like, I have MACD actually pulled up on the bottom here, and I don't think I usually have a lot of indicators usually. But MACD will tell you kind of where momentum is. If you look at candles, if you look at ticker tape, and you can see there's a sneaky buyer that keeps picking up every single sell order, jumping up, doesn't care about bidding themselves up. Well, that can be translated into the tape. And if that gets translated into the tape, of course, you can pull that. All of these indicators are derivatives or some sort of arithmetic from the bid, the ask, and the tape. It's mostly the tape, right? But level 2, you get the bid and the ask, great. But it's all from the tape. The candles are generated from the tape. Average prices, moving average prices are generated from the tape. MACD, RSI, all of this is tape related. What was the transaction for how many shares at what price, closer to the bid or closer to the ask? That's all that we kind of get, right? Everything post that is kind of bells and whistles that have gotten added in into the stock market post that. So Chris with the $5 super chat, thank you, Chris.
Would you rather own leaps on Nikola or get married without a prenup?
Chris is gonna kill me. Would I rather own leaps on Nikola? No. The latter. I mean, I'm getting married without a prenup, so so no. What is Nikola? I thought about Nikola today. What is Nikola trading at? $6. Wow, look how liquid this is too. Very illiquid. Yikes. How is Nikola still at $6, aka a 2.6 billion market cap? 2.6 billion market cap. Oh, you guys. Optimus says, what will the number of options contracts post split also triple? Yes, they'll triple, and then their strike price will be cut by 3, right? 1,000 strike turns into 330, 330 something, right? Yeah, Caleb, I saw that Giga Berlin to have a third shift come December. I think that's great. But December news doesn't really excite me today. Of course, long term, excited about that. But I just don't see that relaying into the market right now. I find it funny how that news did come out. It's August. It's coming out in December. But thank you, William. Dan says, would you rather Tesla at the end of the year, $1,500, and own an orange wrap Tesla, or end the year at $1,200? Well, Dan, I feel like there's one right answer to this. For anyone that doesn't know, Dan and I have this joking bet going on, and I say that quite loosely because I don't want to get hurt here too bad. But Dan says, if Tesla hit 1,200, would I wrap the car in orange, like some sort of orange wrap, I should say? And I was like, $1,500, you got a deal. Now we'd have to kind of double from here. So, but as soon as we get over 1,000, I'll be sweating that a little bit. Xander says, I'm going to roll these weird strike prices immediately to those 2024 options volume when it's time to sell. Well, it's going to be, that's one of the things that's, I'm super looking forward to with the split, is like these in the monies, let's say 900s will turn to 300s. And so if you wanted to buy, actually, let's just do some options analysis here. Let's say if we came to January. Chris, thank you for the super chat again. I don't know how to answer this. What's the sexiest and least sexy name? I don't know. I'll throw mine in. It's probably least, but I'll let I'll let the chat decide. I have no idea. Okay, so the 900 strikes, if you think about this, 26 grand at the moment. 26 grand at the moment. After a split, these at the monies will be about 8-9k worth of trading. 8-9k worth of trading. So that's a big deal, right? So if you wanted to buy January 2024s, let's say, you could do a bunch of spreads where you buy at the money. Let's say if you bought the 900 strike today even. And then what you did was you kind of used it as a pseudo covered call, or you did poor man's covered calls on it. So you own the January at the monies. You can come to, let's say, September AI day expiration or something, and you can start selling 1200 strike, and you get about $200. And let's say you did that every couple months, barring Tesla didn't rally up, 35% or whatever it is to 1200, 40%. Barring that didn't happen, you can keep collecting and DCAing down on that. The January 2025s aren't going to be coming out for a while. With analysts adjusting their EPS targets for 2023. Oh, hold on, let me pull up the chart here. With analysts adjusting their price earnings per share targets for 2023 in the next several months, do you expect a Tesla rise in the next several months? Tesla is traditionally pretty strong second half. This is a great transition, actually, into Gary Black's tweet that I wanted to highlight here. Gary Black says, what should Tesla's PE be? Unlike other auto manufacturers, Tesla PE shrinks significantly as investors turn the calendar to 2023. With Tesla PE falling from 69, nice, on my 2022 EPS to 38 on my 2023 EPS. So this is what you're talking about, right? If you look at 2022 EPS, it's trading at 40 times. If you look at next year's EPS, and by the way, this is Gary Black's EPS, right? So it'll be more on the conservative side anyways, I think, for a Tesla bull category. And we'll look at what Street's at as well. For other auto manufacturers, rolling the calendar year doesn't matter until 2023 EPS declines versus next year, right? So if you look at this handy dandy Excel sheet that Gary Black has here, if you look at next year, right, 2023, Gary Black is estimating 2.4 million cars sold. 57. You know what? One thing I find interesting with Gary's modeling is, and Gary was on Farzad's channel yesterday. If you guys haven't watched that, go check that out with Tesla Bruno Mama Alexandra. And if you look at if you look at ASP, one thing that's interesting is how Gary has ASP continuing to go up. Now, I'm kind of the same vein where I feel like ASP will go up because of higher end models like Roadster eventually that will come out, and Semi. But the Tesla bear argument is, okay, for them, they can't both hit volume and ASP go up. If they're hitting volume, it's with lower cost vehicles, and so ASP should stay down or go lower, right? But if you look at 2.4 million cars next year, Gary has an adjusted EPS of next year of $24. Now, I think James Stevenson on my channel, when he came, he said his estimates are 32. Sorry if I'm wrong, James. I think that's off my memory. So at 32. So James at 32, let's say 30. Gary's at 24. And if you look at the street is at 17. $17.26 EPS next year. Right? Oh, actually, hey, speaking of the devil, Farzad, how's it going, man? He's in the channel. Or he's in the chat. Blu-ray Gang's in the chat. Saskatchewan says, what happens if I have a GTC buy or sell order that doesn't get completed before the split? That's a good question. You would hope that your broker would cut your order price in thirds. But that's a good question. I would close it just to be safe. That's a really good question. I would hope your broker is competent enough to cancel it or cut it by a third, right? So if you look at EPS, this, in my opinion, this is the story for next year for Tesla, right? Of course, we can look into this year, but with this year we had all the China shutdowns, we had the chip shortage, all the chip shortages, you know, a bunch of macro stuff going on. Next year, if you look at EPS next year, if Tesla hits $24 EPS next year, and they're at the current PE that they're sitting at right now, the current PE is about 100. The trailing 12-month PE on Tesla, I see it on Webull here, is about 100. Now, 100 PE on $24 EPS, end of next year, let's say trailing 12, that would be $2,400 a share. Now, of course, that's just crude math, taking the PE current trailing 12. So, you know, this is the story for next year. I really thought this, well, I guess quarter four is really what I'm looking forward to as well, just to see what how earnings power really gets exponentially strong. But next year is hopefully the first full year in a long time when Tesla can actually operate without all this sideshow action going on. Crest says I have an EPS of $8 for 2023. Yikes! Wow. So $8. I mean, Tesla is already at, what's the trailing 12 EPS? So I have on Webull. Is trailing 12 is already $8.33. Hadouken says, when are the Juju card decals coming in? If someone can tell me where to get them or where to do them, I'm down. Boyle says, when the street's wrong about earnings, they just adjust their PE so they don't have to change their target. Perhaps. But remember, I mean, PE is like, you know, if you ever model, it's like the fudge metric. It's the fudge variable. It's something that's deduced. It's something that comes after everything else. And it's what's left gives us that PE, right? So, oh, Sam says blueberries over citrus. Just saying. Okay. I'm going to have to take a slice for that. Oh. Pietri says wrong answer time soon. That's actually funny that you say that. Today I actually did have a, hey, electrical engineer, thank you for joining Patreon. Just saw that come in. Shout out to you. I do have a segment actually today. I'm going to call it Hot Take Friday. Throw your Tesla hot takes in the chat. Chris was just kidding. Okay. You just never know. I don't want to assume, right? Like it's not my thing. So Hot Take Friday. Throw your Tesla hot takes in the chat. How do you get to the Discord? After you join Patreon, go into your Patreon settings and connect your Discord account through your Patreon settings, and then you'll get prompted through. Actually, I think I see you in the Discord, or maybe that's not you, but I see someone in. Okay, throw your hot takes in. Dukin. No, there's no Orange Juju Fast, and definitely wish Dave the best. Good to hear that he's doing a lot better now. Yeah. Oh, Mike, thank you. Appreciate that. He says, Juju Gang is my favorite Friday show. You guys have made this Friday show, should I say it's the best live Power Hour on YouTube? You know, I see people throw in Power Hour now. I feel like we kind of pioneered this a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to read some hot takes. Connection says the main risk with Tesla is China, and it's dependent on China production. So soon Tesla will realize the risk or danger and will go through a shock of migrating out of China. Okay, so that's a hot take. Here's my thoughts on China. Number one, Tesla doesn't really... the majority of cars that are built in China are for China. There's a lot of unmet demand for Tesla vehicles in China. There's kind of two sides of this argument where I feel like people like to say, look, China, the CCP, they help China, they help Tesla, and that's why they're successful. And in the same breath, and this is not you, Ganeshan, this is just arguments I see online. In the same breath, they want to say Tesla and China, and China will never let Tesla succeed. Can't really have it both ways. I think the red carpet treatment that Elon and Tesla have gotten in China shows how valuable China really knows that Tesla is. They're delivering a lot of cars locally. And on top of that, I think this it's not a unique problem. If you look at Apple, for example, Apple exports all of their iPhones from China here to North America. There's no iPhones made in North America, right? Yet Apple's doing just fine, right? Apple is doing just fine. So yes, there's a degree of caution that you probably should have with China and mostly the government, right? And the way that they operate, of course, because of the stuff like the dynamic COVID-0 strategy that they've implemented and all this sort of stuff. But, you know, history is showing us, or, you know, track record is showing us how well they're doing in China. Boyle says, hot take, Tesla in less than 5 years will Tesla is less than 5 years from selling the Fremont factory back to Legacy Auto. Okay, you got to expand on this. It's definitely a hot take. Okay, I got so many questions. You got to elaborate on that. Thank you, Arthur. Appreciate that. Mimi as well. Thank you. Some of these comments I can't even. Okay, here's a hot take. Chargers 2022 Super Bowl champs. Okay, you know, I just watched, speaking of the Chargers, not that this is related at all, I don't even watch football, I don't know why I'm saying this. I watched the Manti Te'o documentary on Netflix yesterday. That was a really good documentary. Pretty sad what happened though. That's like my only reference point for football, so I'm sorry. Okay, Chris's hot take, Tesla gets bought out by Lucid and Rolson. That's a hot take, my friend. You know what, though? I would not be surprised if Lucid gets bought out by Apple. I'm just saying that now. Sam says no way. Honest, Johnest says, how to change this emoji. I think after, if you've been a member after a month, it changes. And then it just kind of sticks with it. I think that Elon is the new one. Xander says, did you see some crazy guy ordered the Tesla Semi? Yes, I did. And I did see that person may or may not have let the Tesla pause Semi orders on their site. If you don't know, Xander may or may not have ordered a Tesla Semi as a regular business owner, let's say, that doesn't really need a Semi. And so Tesla's, in retaliation, turned off the ordering of Tesla Semis on their site. I found that hilarious. Thank you, folks. Appreciate that. I don't really watch stuff like The Walking Dead or stuff like that. I've been trying to get into what's it called? Better Call Saul. That's my next Netflix. I don't watch a lot of Netflix or TV series in general. $8.90, by the way, staying on Tesla. The Office is one that I finished front to back. Hold on. The Office, Silicon Valley, and that's it. Really, I mean, that's it. I don't watch a lot of TV. I don't watch Netflix. I don't have the attention span for it. Kind of got ADD in that way, but I will watch a lot of documentaries, nonfiction, that sort of stuff. You guys saying that's a really good show? Yeah. I've heard so many things about it. I don't know if I'll like it, to be honest. I'm weird. I have a weird taste in stuff that I watch. Gonzalez says, hot take, a Tesla bot is driving in all those recent videos for Chuck's left turn. Yeah, Chuck's been sharing some really funny footage of him recording all the Tesla employees trying to practice his left turn and stuff. I think that's hilarious that they're literally going to his intersection and they're repeating his turn a million times to get it right. Chandra says, hot take, Tesla buys energy dome technology and ironically uses CO2 for long-term energy storage. CO2 for long-term energy storage. I wish I knew more about energy for that. I mean, Tesla energy doesn't get talked about enough, I think. But it makes sense. I mean, Tesla energy is not really scaling the same way that the car business is today. But I mean, Elon's on record to say that he thinks Tesla energy is going to be as big as the auto business, right? Have I watched Breaking Bad? No, I have not. Oh wait, do I have to watch Breaking Bad before I watch Better Call Saul? Forget about it then. Forget about it. I didn't realize it was is it one of those things? I've never watched Breaking Bad in my life. I have no idea. Okay, you guys are saying put that one first. Okay. Hot take, Craig says, Tesla pivots to compressed air when tech is discovered. When the tech is... Imagine Tesla... hold on. Imagine Tesla's having hydraulics. Like, not a little bit, but... Oh, actually, you know what? I ran into someone at a supercharger one time who could... And this is not going to blow anyone's mind except mine. He could, like, lower his, like, Model S... or Model 3, sorry. It was like a standard, it was a long range Model 3. And he was lower, and he just like from his phone, he was lowering it, raising it. He's like, yeah, I got it custom done. Cost like 20K. I was like, what? And I was just mind blown. But hydraulics on a Tesla? One time I was in LA one time, I went by the movie or by the museum of whatever it was, right by anyways, I saw this in LA is really the only place you'll ever see I've ever saw like hydraulic cars come up. This guy like elevated his car, like it had to be like 85 degrees. It was just crazy. You need better weather for that. Okay, so it's related. Better Call is a spin-off. Okay, you guys are all recommending. Okay, we'll see. They're connected. Man, that's how far out the pop culture realm I am. I have no idea about any of these shows. I kind of stay away from everything. I didn't watch what was that other thing that everyone watched back in the days? Yeah, that narrows it down, right? That thing that everyone watched back in the days. It was like some, forget about it. Game of Thrones, digital. How Hadouken, how did you guys get that? I have no idea how you got that. Yes, Game of Thrones. How? That's kind of some sort of psychological psyop right there. The fact that you got that. Yes, Game of Thrones. I didn't watch that. Never watched it. Don't plan on watching it. Not really my vibe. Mind readers, yeah, no kidding. 889.95 sitting on Tesla. Okay, we'll look at macro. Okay, let's get back on track here. Someone asked, how's the options order flow doing? Let's look at that in here in a second. Pull this up. Let's refresh options order flow. Let's take a look how that's going. We'll play our Tesla closing price guessing game here in a second. Let me just pull this up here. Yeah, order flow is not looking too hot. Let's just put it that way. Not looking great. Okay, let's play a Tesla closing price guessing game. If you haven't been here before, you're wondering what it is, throw your guess of what Tesla stock price will close at for today. Remember, one guess per person, and Price is Right rules. You have to be at or under by the penny. If you're over even by a penny, you cannot win. You get disqualified. So you should make a TV movie reaction channel, Carlos. I don't think anyone would care for someone that's never watched anything in their life's reaction on stuff. I don't think so. At least. I did think that I could have a video once, like a viral video go out on like YouTube Shorts or something, of like vegetarian eats meat for the first time in his life. I think that might go viral. But I don't really think that fits into the whole shtick that we got going on here. Okay, 890 sitting on Tesla. What's my guess? My guess is, and by the way, for anyone wondering, volume weighted average price is 886.55. 886.65. My guess is 887. 887. 887. That's my guess. Crest says my Tesla virtual power test went well yesterday. My guess is 891. Yeah, there was a whole VPP. That was in California, right? Where Tesla was selling energy back to the grid. That was super cool. And I think they applied for that in a new state as well. John says, hot take, FSD 10.69 release is unannounced wide release that Elon and the board have been hinting at. Well, Elon, I don't think it's the single stack, just because I think that's reserved for V11. But it could be. I mean, if you look at the way that Elon described the rollout, he said 10,000 or 1,000 for the first week, then we'll reassess, and then maybe we'll open up to 10,000, and then 2 weeks later, maybe the full fleet. So yeah. A lot of guests coming in. Boyle says he tweeted at me with his theory. Let me check that out. Watch this for CO2 energy storage. And 987 Geo Prism. Fremont Factory is the source of Tesla's bad HR rep. Dozen lawsuits. It's a cultural problem at Fremont that existed before Tesla took over that factory. I think the way that they're scaling, though, like I don't know how we could think that they possibly could close Fremont. I just don't know where they would replace all of that production right away. But you're right. I mean, Tesla is on record to say like they're never gonna buy an old legacy factory ever again. Like if they're gonna do something, they're gonna start from scratch, do it right, do it their way. So I mean, there was a time where I thought, okay, Fremont's just gonna kind of sunset into kind of like a below average kind of factory, that sort of stuff. But it seems like Fremont is killing it. Actually, that's one of the tweets that I wanted to show you from Sawyer. I actually just pulled up a couple seconds before I went live here. What's this? Checking count lower. Oh, someone bought some sort of suit there. Where is the Sawyer tweets a record 10,000 Teslas. I counted, he said, spotted at the port in Shanghai, ready to be loaded for export onto ships. Check this out. Zoom in. I can't even zoom in here. It's a lot of cars. And what makes it more incredible, he goes on to say, is the previous record was 8,800 just last week. What's remarkable is that the 10,000 cars really only represents a few days of the Model Y and 3 production. I mean, when you put it into context like that, like this many cars represents a few days of production. That shows you how like Shanghai is just on another level. And for us to expect that out of Austin or Berlin right away, like it's not feasible. Hey, nice, Safari. That's awesome. One of those cars are yours. We'll get yours Sunday. Hey, very well could be. Oh no, how long do they stay on water before they get to Europe? Couple weeks, maybe. Right? Maybe. We'll see. They're chipping away at the full stack. This one does seem bigger, fundamental changes. Yeah, I mean, that's what is interesting is like Elon says, okay, there's fundamental changes, but I don't know what the fundamental changes could be outside of a single stack. So again, this is where I defer to people that know more about FSD than I do. All right, 890 sitting on Tesla. What's CNBC talking about? You may wonder. GameStop. Ryan Cohen sells entire Bed Bath & Beyond stake. That's what they care about right now. So nothing really. Rob says, Yash, you think there's something more to Tesla pausing orders on the long-range Model 3? Is it really a backlog only? Yes, I think it's the... Look, I've been getting a lot of people disagreeing with me on this. I tweeted this out. I think it is the EV tax credit. You'll see, yeah, it's available in 2023. Not available to be clicked on now. I really do think it's the tax credit. And I get it. A lot of people are coming at me and saying, look, why would they ever lower price? They have unlimited demand here at this price, so on and so forth. I get it. But what my thought process is, if the Model 3 long range is 57K, and you know that cars under 50 at 55 and under qualify, and you know that if you lower the price by 2,000, consumers will get a near $10,000 difference in price. And Elon is on record to say that he thinks commodity prices are going down, and he thinks that it's embarrassingly high in terms of how high the price of the cars have gotten. I add everything up and I just read in between the lines, and I think the reason why you pause it, and I tweeted this out, maybe it's faster if I just find my tweet, is, let me just pull it up here actually. I think it makes sense to just lower the price to qualify for the EV rebate. Here it is. I tweeted this out. Follow me if you want. This is probably so Tesla can amicably lower price to $55K for it to qualify for the EV credit. Remember, people are buying the long range today, yesterday, that have had their orders in for a long time now, are going to be getting the cars this year at $57K, let's say, right? And for them to not be pissed that you're now going to lower it to 55 in the new year, I think what you do is you close off the order book now. You satiate current demand, and I said this now, stop orders now, satiate the current backlog of people at 57K, set the new price to 55K, and only take orders at that price starting in January. Starting in January. That's my guess. Thank you, Judy. Appreciate that. That's my theory, because, you know, I kind of read in between the lines of what Elon says. And this way people aren't mad, right? Exactly, Rich. So, you know, that's my thinking, and I get it. People are coming back at me and saying, look, they can already sell as many cars. If anything, they should increase their prices. I just don't think Elon and Tesla think like that. That's my 2 cents. Feel free to disagree with me. You know, I told the story a couple weeks ago of the Costco CEO and Howard Schultz sitting in a boardroom meeting together. Let's see here. Hold on. Starbucks CEO, right? Howard Schultz sitting in a boardroom meeting together, and Howard Schultz telling the Costco CEO, like, look, our commodity prices for the beans have come down 10% or whatever it is. This is great because that's going to increase your margins. And the Costco CEO says, look, we're going to be cutting that to give that price cut to the consumer. And Howard Schultz like, no, like, you like keep the margin. And he's like, well, if you are not going to let us lower the prices to give the savings back to the consumers, we're cutting off Starbucks off of our vendors list. And so I think that goes to say that not every CEO's. Oh, thank you, Judy, for the $10 super chat.
This was meant to go with my thank you.
Thank you very much, as usual. I appreciate you, longtime supporter. And so that's where my thought process is with all of this is I think Elon thinks if all we have to do is lower price $2K for this car, which we only raised $2K because we thought commodity prices were going to continue going higher. Now they're back down anyways. And all we have to do is lower it by $2K, and then consumers get a $7,500 cut past that. I just think that's the better way to look at this. And I get it, by the way. Any typical MBA CEO would just raise prices by $7,500 more. Like, didn't Ford raise prices by $8K the day that the EV rebate got announced? So Stefan says, no credit available in Canada, right? I just had a quick look and it seems like Teslas are too pricey here to qualify. Yes, unfortunately, all Teslas don't qualify. No Teslas qualify any longer for the 5,000 federal and the here in BC it's 4,000 provincial anymore. It's under 55K Canadian. So. All right, we've got 5 minutes left here to a close. CNBC is talking about Roblox. Kevin says they can also cut specs while dropping the price. Like cut range, or are you saying put in like 4680s or something and then lower their cost in the vehicle that way? 890 sitting on Tesla here. Tesla is just not wanting to move today. Just not wanting to move. Let's see here. Oil back at $90 a barrel. Above $90 a barrel. $8.89. I feel like I've been saying the same number the entire stream. $8.90 sitting on Tesla. Kevin says maybe merge the standard range and the long range. Do like a standard range plus. Oh, look at the options. Yes, that's what I was supposed to do. Hold on here. Just pull up the options flow so I can show everyone. Okay, and remember, in the last 4 or 5 minutes of trading on Fridays, we usually get a really good idea as to what the move next week may be. It is options expiration. Volume today is already 19 million, but remember, volume, what we're looking for is on the closing cross. So let me just pull this up here. Chris says, do we still receive a stock splits today if we buy today? Yes, the date that you saw, the August 17th, it's mostly for brokers and stuff to worry about. Yeah. So if you own shares today, they're still going to get split. Oh, check this out. We just went positive on the options order flow for next week. Hold on, let me just make this a little bit bigger and let me move myself. Interesting. Okay. Some call buying coming in ahead of next week. Interesting. Let's keep an eye on this. Actually, we've got a couple minutes left here until close. I'm getting probably a little bit more excited than I probably should on this, but let's pull this up. Tesla Cylon, thank you for the super chat. Do you think Tesla, and I'll read this out because it's a penny short of $5, so there's no text to speech. Do you think Tesla will sell FSD separate from the car, meaning EV credit limits? Meaning, can I buy this offer even if I don't have a Tesla yet? Do I think Tesla will do that? No, because I think Tesla has so much pent-up demand already that they're gonna say, like, why would we want anyone to be buying FSD separate and then for us to babysit that? Or like, the way I look at it is from a business perspective. If you get customers that are only buying something that is going to be existing in the future and cannot try anything today, cannot get any utility from it whatsoever today, then then you're just kind of setting yourself up for a customer service distraction. So, but I know there's a lot of people that are wanting to, well, you know what you could do? I guess you could Cybertruck order and lock in FSD pricing. It's a pseudo way that you're buying FSD only that way. But then you're having to take delivery of the Cybertruck if you don't want it, right? I think the subscription was meant for the hopping between cars on FSD. Okay, we got 2 minutes left here. Tesla Silence said I could buy Flight Sim without a computer. That's true. You can also buy like Microsoft Word. If you look at the options order flow here, a lot of 830s coming in for next week. 830 puts out the money coming in for next week. 830, 30, 40K, 40K. Maybe I can use the thumbnail again for week 4. Yeah, honestly, it's hilarious. We'll keep an eye on this. Oh, here's some 880s. Let's actually just do short-term expiration only. And there we go. Let's look at 1 million over, all in the money. Let's do out the monies there. There we go. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of too late to guess. I'll cut it off probably where Judy super chat was or something. All good. But some people watch behind, and I get that, because some people are watching me like 10 minutes in the past but commenting. Tommy, shout out to Amelia. That's awesome. My 6-year-old daughter Amelia is a huge fan of Tesla and hit that bid. Wanted to say hi. Shout out to you, Tommy and Amelia. Appreciate you guys watching. Boom, there we go. 890 on the dot. Well, I lied. A penny off. Oh no, 890 on the dot. Okay, look at the volume that came in too in that last minute of trading. I'll let it settle here. It's probably still coming in, to be honest. 890 finishing the week on Tesla, just shy of both the 200-day moving average and the 50-day and the 9 moving average. So there's that. On the week, putting in a slight red week, starting the week at 906, ending the week at 890 here. As high as 947 this week, by the way. Hard rejection off that 950. That's awesome. And let me just see who won here. Max is already saying he's won. Let me just verify. Hold on one second. 890 on the dot. Who guessed 890 on the dot? Tesla Cylon was over. Ron was over. Oh, Greg Wadsworth guessed 890 on the dot. Even put in the zeros. So we at least have one winner there. Max Harris as well. Yes, indeed you did. An 890 on the dot. And hold on, where am I in the chat now? Okay. Oh, but Max, you did throw in a guess 890.01 a little bit after. It's okay. I'll take the first one. All good. What a day, though. I mean, look, 2.2 down, 2% down on the day. So shout out to our two winners, by the way, Greg and Max. Shout out to you guys. All good, all good. We'll give you the virtual Juju prize. I'll throw a slice of Juju at you as well. Okay, let's just do a quick synopsis on the week. 890 closing on the week on Tesla, down 2% on a day where the Nasdaq was down 2%. Tracking 1-to-1 with the Nasdaq when it's down 2%, I think is still a win. Albeit it is still down. Remember, Thursday next week is our first split adjusted day of trading. Let me just check here, right? Yes, Thursday. And so options expiration is now behind us. A lot of options have now officially expired into close. Next week is, I'm looking forward towards next week and seeing potentially a big move up or down. It seems like we're kind of been, yes, I mean, we're still up substantially from, end of June, July, but it seems like we're kind of flagging here, and we're kind of trying to find if we can crack through that 950 base or that 950 resistance up top, but can't crack that until we hit 900 first. So there's that. Connection says, Yashu, stay on for another 10 minutes. Elon's going to drop some bombshell. I feel like every Friday this happens, but fortunately I've had pretty good luck with the ability to stay on post close. Oh god damn, these spam bots. Thank you, Sanju and mods, appreciate that. Let's see here, any more questions that I can answer? Let's see here, and shout out to all new subscribers as well. If you haven't hit subscribe, you're enjoying the content, feel free to. Let's see here. What's one thing that's interesting as well is Tesla's ability, I think, for the, like, you talk about the EV credit and the demand and everything like that's going to bring. Tesla could stand to be one of the few auto manufacturers that actually can deliver cars at scale. If you look at the list of people, on that list, it's not very high. And there's some rumors going around, and we don't necessarily know this for a fact just yet, about which cars qualify and which ones don't. It's mostly going to be US based cars though. And I'll show you what I mean here. Right here. This bill makes any electric vehicles assembled outside of North America ineligible for tax credits, which has brought criticism from the European Union, South Korea, and many automakers. So we're still waiting on kind of details on this. Eight says, I asked the question, please answer. I don't see your question. Yeah, feel free to ask it again. Valerian, how's it going? What do you think the odds are we get a column before the split? I'm gonna say, so what, $100? Let me just do some quick math. $110 on an 890 stock. It's about a 12.3% move. What are the odds we? Okay, how about you guys throw in the chat? How about you guys throw in the chat? Yes or no? Do we hit over 1,000 before the split? It says, how many Elon capable people do you think exist on the planet right now? They're untapped and lost potentials. Oh, that's a good question. Look, I think to be as productive as Elon, you kind of have to be a little bit crazy, right? In a good way. I think very few people exist on the world that think in the way that Elon does. Very few. I would say 10,000 and less in the world. That's my guess. Complete shot in the dark. Throw your guess in too. Trauma says yes, no, yes, yes, no. But a 50-50 mix. If I was going to guess, I was going to say 55 no, 45 yes. And it kind of seems like everyone's kind of in that area. 12.34% move. Look, I mean, a couple of days of 5%, we're pretty much there. A Monday huge Green Day cult for sure if that happens. I'm actually, one thing I'm going to do is thank Aid. One thing I'm going to do is just pull up the options order flow so everyone can see what the flow looks like for next week. We'll see. Jason says, Dan, look at the after hours move up. I don't see an after hours move up. I don't. Maybe you're talking about a different stock, maybe. Okay, so I mean, here's the good news. The good news is we finished after hours. Oh, whoops. Oh, whoops. Open link. There we go. After hours, we finished, or to close the day. We finished on bullish territory with options order flow. It's more than we can say for the majority of our closings this week. Or yeah, this entire week pretty much has not been positive. So closing on a bullish way, a lot of call buying coming in. Actually, a lot of put and call buying, but mostly call buying to offset some of the negative deltas that we had. There's that. Oh, we looked at the wrong stock. It's all good. It's all good. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, much love. Thank you for tuning in to another awesome power hour session. I've got to hop into a call here at 1:30. I'm going to EV Revolution here in Vancouver. It's a conference get together run by Wally. And maybe I can share more details once it's I can find the best way to share information. But it'll be like an EV conference. I'll be attending there with, I think, a couple other YouTubers as well. So I've got a meeting for hop into that at 1:30. And much love. Thank you for tuning in for another awesome power hour. I'm sweating my everything off over here. And remember, reminder for the weekend, turn off your technology, your phone, streams, whatever you need to reset, recoup, re-energize for the week. Much love. I'll catch you guys next week for the split action. A lot of streams coming up next week. Much love. Take care. Thanks, everyone. Peace out.